We are live here on location as always. Well, not as always, but live here, the National Rally Podcast, well, not podcast, talk show. Here, I got special guests with me. I got Big Von out here. I got ABJ. Uh, so welcome to the National Rally Podcast.
Did did I
All
hear
right,
this correctly? You got Vaughn, you got ABJ. Who else do you got, Leroy?
that's it. That's it. That's what I
That's
got.
that's all you got?
That's all. That's all I got.
Live from the mountaintop. You have the belt god. Okay. Partnered up with this nasty reality talk show, the Michigan Marauders, me and Vaughn, and live from the mountaintop. You have the belt god. ABJ, welcome to the mountaintop.
What's going on, man?
Excuse Leroy for not being able to properly do an introduction. He's a
He's
little
learning.
green at he's a little green at this, hence his background. Go ahead, Leroy.
The topics of the day we'll be talking about what would happen if AEW and WWE was actually happen on a book and well how we would book it and the build up to the pay per view, the Raw and the Dynamite. I'll talk about the Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley situation. I want to talk about the state of the IWC, the state of independent wrestling. Should independent wrestling go to territories and New York local stars? And more topics, and then of course the rap best of the week and stuff like that.
ABJ, where should we start?
I guess let's start with the first topic, right? We'll go with the AEW versus. So you're saying like an AEW WWE like super show, like a Forbidden Door style show?
Yeah, super show, like a super show.
I guess that's a good way to go.
Yeah. So, okay, to give a little backstory or context, Leroy and I
Yeah,
was talking about this. How this all came about was we were talking about this whenever they were talking about the Warner Brothers deal with Netflix. And we were talking about the possibility, how close it was related with Netflix buying Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers having the streaming rights to AEW. We said that that would be the closest that we would ever get to a real forbidden door between WWE and AEW. So we started doing some dream matches and dream scenarios concerning WWE AEW kind of crossover invasion kind of deal. That's how this conversation came about. This subject came about.
Interesting. So here's my first question. I kind of want to lay out to everyone, I guess, first, just like to get a baseline of where we are. Who do you feel is WWE's top overall in-ring performer, like top guy?
Okay, if we're saying in ring, you have to go Seth Rollins
Okay.
in ring. I'm going Seth.
I totally agree and respect that call. Now that AJ's no longer there, I would say also
Right,
Seth Rollins. Yes.
right.
All right, just making sure because some people were gonna probably go Roman, like he's their top guy, he's their thing. But Seth, your answer with Seth does change the landscape a little bit because real respect, real good answer. Because my personal take is if people are gonna say Roman, I don't even think Roman in ring or overall is better than even like the top 5 people of AEW.
The thing is, we were talking about it, and we were saying if you were to go and put Kenny versus Roman, Roman had a match that showed everybody that Roman could work with somebody who's a high flyer or who's a hybrid athlete. And the match that he did that with was with Buddy Matthews when he would put like when he gave that Buddy Matthews match. That was the match that really showed that if he was to go against Kenny, he could work that. You know what I'm saying? It might be a grueling style, and Kenny has to slow down a little bit. Kenny might have to work more of a New Japan style with Roman instead of an AEW style.
Yeah, a
If
lot of
we
the
threw
top
that out
guys at
there,
AEW, if allowed to wrestle. So here's the deal: if a lot of the AEW guys probably couldn't wrestle the WWE style because it puts a restrictor plate on you. But I don't know if Roman could work non-WWE style with a lot of the top AEW guys. I think you get exposed very quickly.
Couldn't work with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay just it's not a good match style wise
I mean, I
for
watched
Roman.
Will Ospreay somehow put together a banger match in Wembley Stadium against Chris Jericho, which I to this day still don't know how that happened. It was unreal.
But Jericho is sort of a hybrid athlete. If you watch his stuff in WCW, and like he was a high flyer, he was a grappler, and he got into more striking as he got older. So that's not really as far fetched as it would be with Roman, because Roman's more of a like he's a prototypical WWE guy. You know what I'm saying? A real powerhouse.
Yeah, he's a
So
5 move of doom guy. He's
yeah,
got his bread and butter and he sticks to it.
definitely have to have that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that, but with Will Ospreay, I think that I just don't like that style wise. I would definitely like it more with Kenny, because I think that Kenny would get him out of his bag much more like how AJ Styles and John Cena had that banger that they had at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I favor that matchup more than I would like a Will Ospreay. So I agree with you in that regards. Yeah, I'd rather see Will Ospreay versus Finn Balor or Seth Rollins. Really, tell you
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start with Seth. I think Seth's the top guy as well. I would personally
Definitely
like to see Seth versus either I'd probably be Will Ospreay because I think they're
gotta
closer
be,
in age, and
gotta
I
be.
think that would be the matchup that everybody would want to see as the main event.
That's got to be the main event.
Totally agree.
Vaughn, what you got? Oh,
I
my
want
boy,
to say Gunther.
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 Okay.
And there's like
Gunther.
so many matchups you can like put him up with against. So the guys in AEW right now. I mean, he can work with Joe. He can work with Kingston. He can work with Swerve. You know, he can work with those guys, and there'll be some magical matchups. You know, even Omega. You know, I think him and Omega probably tear the house down.
I'm actually, if we're gonna go Gunther, I gotta say I do like the Gunther versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe,
I do too.
Le-
That's a good
yeah,
matchup.
yeah. Leroy knows I love a good Joe, and if it wasn't Samoa Joe, then it's got to be Moxley. It's got to be ultra violent. It's got to be something that you just got to really. Claudio wouldn't be bad either. It just wouldn't be as major, but
Right.
Claudio wouldn't be bad either.
What if you throw Gunther versus Brody King?
Ooh,
That'd be a good one to have. They met in the Indies at PWG before.
You know who's been really winning me over too? That I think, and it's crazy because like this is the power of AEW, where even their mid carders can be top guys because they're just good in the ring.
right.
Gunther versus he's been winning me over, but oh shit, I'm having a brain fart right now. Mark Davis,
Mark Davis. Mark Davis.
Will Ospreay's tag team partner, just won the trios
Yeah,
championships
yeah, yeah,
last
yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah.
I have not been watching a lot of Mark Davis, but I have seen a lot of highlights, and I've been very impressed with him as of late. He looks like he's in really good shape as well too.
Yeah, he's been killing it. He's doing a great job.
Brody King though, that's the banger, man. Because Brody is a big guy. Brody is a big guy that can move. They could really sell the physicality of that match, and Brody can take it up a notch. I really have a soft spot for Samoa Joe, but the thing is that Brody, if we're talking about emerging stars and great matchups, you might have hit the nail on the head with that Brody King thing.
Yeah,
Oh, everybody just fell off. What's going on here?
I think someone just clicked. I think Leroy clicked his face to put him in the main screen.
Oh,
I can
okay.
still hear you though, so I think we can hear. I think we're still being heard.
Leroy, please get my face
So
off.
that's not bad. I think ABJ came through with a good one, because I really thought Gunther versus Mox or Joe was the one. But that Brody King as of late, Brody's been showing up.
Yeah.
Brody really has been showing up.
All right, I guess let's work backwards and go through the championships right here. So we have Drew McIntyre, your world champion. Who do you partner
Right.
up against in AEW?
Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre and Joe wouldn't be bad though.
I don't hate that.
Drew McIntyre and Joe wouldn't be bad at all.
Him and Claudio.
That's not
like-
bad either. They're friends.
I
Yeah.
like that one a lot.
they're friends and they work very well together.
And Claudio not having to be the WWE style old school, Cesaro version, and actually getting to be Claudio would be a completely different matchup than what you would have seen in WWE.
That's funny that Joe keeps getting bumped out, but all with good reasons, because Claudio needs a stage where he can be very anti WWE, and I think that's a good spot for him against somebody that he trusts in the ring and stuff.
I got one. You want to go world champion? Let's go their world champion currently versus possibly, not possibly, but the AEW's for a former world champion. If you want to put star power versus star power and get to see the new version versus the old version, let's do let's do Drew McIntyre versus Jon Moxley. I think that'd be a banger match. I think that'd be a fantastic match.
It's not bad.
It'd be a way of so that'd be the way. If I was booking it, I would say, okay, here's what and remember what Dean Ambrose did and what he was able to do and what he was in ring able to do as Dean Ambrose in the E. Now you're going to see Jon Moxley versus the top guy in your company, but now you're not going to see him as Dean. You're going to see him as John, and you're going to see the differences of what his career was and how it's evolved.
Score that one. I like that. And you know who that leaves Claudio to go against? Yeah. Okay, then that's cool, because if we're going to do that, that means Claudio can go against Ilya Dragunov.
He would chuck that kid like a toothpick.
For real. When you did that one, that was a good one, because you sold me on that Jon Moxley move. So I was like, okay, cool. If we're gonna bump him out of that position, Ilya versus Claudio. I like that one.
You know what Claudio would remind me of going against Dragunov is when Drew McIntyre left the E and went to the independent scene. It was just towering over everyone and just killing them all. Like when he was just like that guy, like that. That's right. What a Claudio Dragunov match looks like to me. All right, CM Punk, your other world champion, versus now the AEW roster. Do we just go funny and say Jack Perry?
No.
MJF.
No. Gotta be MJF.
Gotta finish that feud.
Gotta finish that story.
I like the MJF, but I would keep him for something else personally.
Oh, who are you thinking?
For MJF?
Yes.
I would go MJF Roman.
Oh, MJF Roman. That's interesting.
Because Roman thinks he can go in there and do the microphone stuff now. He thinks he's the best guy and the best guy in the world. And I think you put the guy who thinks he's been holding WWE down for the past 10 years versus the guy who thinks he should be holding down professional wrestling the past 10 years, and that's MJF. Imagine MJF cooking him on the mic.
But that's only mic-wise. In ring-wise, I don't like the style matchup.
I think MJF can adapt to anyone and do what they. MJF is I like MJF because it reminds me he is the John Bones Jones version of the WWE, where you tell John Bones Jones, you're like, the only way your opponent's going to beat you is if you fight this style of fight. And he'll purposely go into that fight and do exactly what he's not supposed to do just to show he can. MJF goes against people stylistically that he shouldn't wrestle certain styles in certain ways and do certain things. And then MJF just pulls things out that goes, oh, here's another layer of my game that you have no idea I can do. MJF's doing suicide dives out of nowhere. He's doing top rope elbow drops to the floor, not even through tables, to the floor. Like, this guy's doing some wild shit just to prove that he can do it, but he doesn't always bust it out. He keeps it very safe. Well, not safe. He keeps it very he keeps you guessing all the time. Like, you have no idea what MJF is.
Especially with that Samoa Joe match, for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny because, Randy Orton just said something about this that he talked to Javon Evans about not showcasing what you can do every night. And I think that goes to show that it's something that people have. Like, if you know that you can do it, you don't show it every night because it's not as special when you bust it out, especially in big matches or big spots and stuff. It's sort of like, oh man, he's added another layer to his game and stuff. And I think that MJF is business savvy enough to understand that, whereas Javon Evans make such a mark and being so fresh and new, he's not getting that and whatever. So that's interesting that you said that and how that related to something Randy said.
So where I will say I'll disagree with Randy with Javon in the WWE system is Javon was brought in for exactly that reason. He was brought in to be the bouncy guy. He was brought in to be the high flyer. He was brought in for the spots. And for now, you telling this kid not to do what makes him special, to me, sounds like the boys in the back telling you to tone it down because you're outworking them. Because he's an indie boy. He came from the indie scene. He has a different way of looking at wrestling than a Randy Orton who never had to go that route. So I honestly, I would listen to Randy and maybe be a little hesitant to listen to some of the old school guys in the back in the WWE system because it could be a way of being like, yo, bro, you're outworking us. Slow down. And then that's where I would turn and I go, no, get better.
See, here's the thing about that, too. There's two things about that. A guy named Ricochet is a good blueprint for Javon Evans and stuff because the thing is that you had that run where doing incredible spots in the E, as far as in NXT Black and Gold and stuff, and it was fantastic. You were over. So we expected that whenever you came to the main roster. And in the main roster, I don't know what the drop-off is in the main roster.
They told him not to.
Like, it's just, and it's
don't
ridiculous
style,
to drop
you're
off.
outworking us. Yeah, don't do that style, you're outworking us.
Here's the thing about WWE too, and I just told Leroy this. WWE has to go back and they have to condense down how many shows that they do. They do Monday, Tuesday, Friday night SmackDown and stuff, and then you have PLEs almost every month and stuff. Thing is, and then you have live shows. Thing is that your people, they're going back and they're doing all these moves and they're used to doing this. The wear and tear on their body and the injury rate is high. This is why you have so many stars that's out right now. Where AEW is cooking WWE right now. I'm sorry that I'm getting off topic, but this is relative to we're talking about styles right now. Where AEW is cooking WWE is that they run almost like a baseball rotation in people. They'll give you somebody, then they'll take them off TV, let them get healthy, bring somebody else up. So everybody feels important. Everybody feels like a contender at any given moment. Somebody goes on a run. Now all of a sudden he could be a threat to the title and stuff. And the thing is that this is something that WWE just doesn't get because we have the same main eventers and the same main event picture. And so whenever you give me somebody who's going for the title, I don't even believe he's a threat to the title because what has he done, to get to this point?
Absolutely. Just a great example is Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight just went in there and fought the world champion and took him to the limit on and realistically made him tap out or pinned him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, but the referee wasn't there. So now with that style of booking, you just made Kevin Knight at any point in time a legit contender for any title in the company. And you did that in the ring by telling a story instead of doing a 16-minute promo. I totally agree.
And I'm with you on that one because it's those little details that you can go back and revisit later on when you're ready to bring him into that picture and actually give us that and give us that hope like he might just have a shot, so.
There's people when Brody, I mean, the wrestling fan of me was like, there's no way Brody King beats MJF. But the way they told that story leading up and how the crowd was reacting to him, you're like,
he might
maybe.
Right.
AEW is the type of company that keep you guessing, so you never know. I like that.
Yeah, so stylistically, like you said, man, it's just a thing where these styles and stuff with like Javon Evans and Ricochet. I just thought about that one. I'd love to see those two go at it if we're booking the show.
Yeah, I think that's the matchup to make right there.
That's Javon Evans Ricochet straight out the gate.
Yep.
Tag team wise, give me a tag team.
I was gonna shift gears, stay in the world champions, but switch gears over to the women's champion, Stephanie Vicure.
Oh, who does she get?
I would say champion versus champion. I think I would give you the AEW version of Stephanie Vicure and give her Tekla. I think they would beat the dog shit out of each other, and it would be awesome to watch.
Yeah. Who does Julia get? No, Jade's the other champion.
I would skip Jade and just go straight to Julia because I think she's a better wrestler. But we'll stay.
There we go. Nope. Listen, somebody had to say it. We'll revisit Jade in a minute. But I'm with you on that one. Let's go with Julia. If anybody disagrees, say it now. I'm going with Julia. I'm with.
He leave because of the Jade.
No, we're saying when we're booking, we're like he's going through the champions, right? But the thing is that we're saying that Jade, if you were to have her wrestle somebody else on the other side of the company, we just were saying that Julia is a better matchup to go against somebody else higher profile if we're booking the crossover event.
I'm selfish with my booking of this only because I think if I'm going to put Julia, who I think is one of the better people on the roster, work rate wise versus somebody on the AEW side of things, I would have Julia go against Athena.
Athena needs this. Athena really needs this because people forget how good Athena was as Ember Moon.
Well, I think people remember or know how good Athena is now in AEW and ROH being the longest champion of ROH history. I mean, the first black woman to main event a pay-per-view against Willow Nightingale, which I think is still, in my opinion, probably one of the best female wrestling matches of all time. Like in-ring work rate wrestling matches, I think Athena and Willow Nightingale absolutely killed it.
Maybe for Athena, guys. Willow, we'll get there.
I love Willow. I think Willow's another top star in that company.
Oh my God!
You don't like Willow?
Here you go with the haterness. He's a big hater of Willow.
That guy loves Willow. I'm not a hater of Willow.
He's a big. Yeah, you are. You're a big hater.
I've watched Willow since the Independence. Yeah, I watched Willow since the independent scene, and I've watched her for a long time. I've worked with her. She's some of her best work is sometimes an intergender. When she wrestles the dude, she's a bad woman. She's really good at what she does.
Hey, listen, ABJ, let me ask you a question. Would you book Leroy versus Willow?
No, because I wouldn't trust Leroy to get in the ring with Willow, and
I wouldn't either. We all know why.
I watched Willow Nightingale break Tracy Hot Sauce Williams' face with a punch, so I wouldn't want Leroy to get beat up that bad.
Damn.
she broke a grown man's orbital bone in his face with a move. Willow Nightingale is no joke.
Damn.
Yeah, see, that's why I would say
killer.
The thing is, I've heard stories like that. That's why I didn't like the presentation of like almost like a Bailey hugger type deal. The thing
here's my
like,
counterpoint. There's a whole other layer to Willow you don't know, like you don't really see though, because she doesn't bust it out very often. But Willow has the Kurt Angle effect. She has the Kurt Angle mode. When Willow gets pissed and she's no longer bubbly and smiley and smile always, she has that, like, if you ever look at her merch, it looks like death metal and it's a smile anyway, because when Willow pulls that strap down, she's Hulk mode and she's beating the dog shit out of you. Like, that's the other layer of Willow Nightingale of like, oh, I can smile, but you trust me, you rather keep me smiling, because when I'm not, I'm Hulk mode on you. And that's when the next gear of Willow kicks in.
But see, here's my thing about that. I would have loved to see her on some sort of intensity, on some Kurt Angle stuff. Like, listen, you already know what's about to happen here. And the thing is, I would love to see her when she knows that she's confidently going to beat somebody. Her smile is an indication that she already knows that she has you beat. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I would have loved to seen it, because I think that having somebody come off as sort of like that kind of like intense, real hyper focused Kurt Angle like glare and like you said, drop the straps and that's about to be over. I think Willow could have been that. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see a female embody that.
Yeah,
that was just my opinion.
They already have that on NXT with Tasha.
I will be right
Steels.
back.
You talking about TNA with Tasha Steels?
No. What's her name? Not Tasha Steels. Her name's something Steels, but she's on Revolve and shit. The Lippy girl.
Nah, it's not working.
Kylie.
Yeah. Listen, here's the only reason I'm gonna say it's not working, okay? Because the thing is, they only did that as a cheap like reach because she is an Olympian and stuff. But the thing is that it just doesn't work for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're saying with the whole thing with Willow, bro, she has an imposing look. Like, physically, she has an imposing look. So the thing is like, it's off-putting whenever you come out there and you smiling and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, like, listen, you come out there, like, I would rather somebody try to talk trash to Willow and like they get besides themselves and try to slap Willow and Willow just smiles at you. Like, yo, listen, I'd be like, hey man, maybe you made a mistake here. You know what I'm saying? That's just the presentation I would have made for Willow.
Smiles and then suplexes that person.
Listen, just hey, she's all go.
Like, you already know, like, you get fucked up though.
The man said Athena versus Julia though. That's a pretty good matchup right there.
I like that. I like that.
I wish WWE seen more in Julia and actually used her properly.
Listen. I just told Leroy this. I hope WWE continues to do what they do, and I hope that it continues to go the way that it goes. Because the thing is that we've all seen cycles within this industry that If you let your competitor get one up on you, then you're in a position where you have to make some hard decisions. You either evolve or you die.
Mhm.
So I hope WWE is just put into a corner because this right there has been one of the most talented rosters with lazy booking.
Yeah.
So I told Leroy personally, I hope that they continue to do what they do because then you're forced to make a decision. Do you want to get better or do you want to fade away?
Yeah.
So
So what you want to go? You want to circle back to Jade, who Jade takes on in AEW?
we just need Jade to make an appearance, honestly. Just make an appearance, Jade. I'd rather see.
I would run back a match we've seen already. Only, or maybe not. No, I wouldn't. You know, the perfect matchup for Jade. Jade is WWE's big, strong, imposing looking woman. Let's throw Megasaurus at her. Put her against Megan Bayne.
But why can't we give her Rhea Ripley?
Because Jade's wrestling someone on AEW.
But Rhea Ripley, Megan Bayne.
I would save that for. I have something else for. In my personal opinion, I have something else for Rhea Ripley.
Hold on. You hold on. Let me think. What's Nah, you're not going Statlander, are you? Or are you going Marina Shafir?
I would go Stat. I would either go Stat. I would go Stat or Willow against Rhea Ripley.
Willow versus Rhea Ripley.
I like
That's
that.
not bad. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah. Definitely can play with the characters and stuff.
Because essentially, the only other person who was brought into AEW to be the okay, we lost Jade. Here's our new person. It was supposed to be Camille, and then Camille came and went, and we haven't seen her since. So then they brought Megan Bayne in to be the next big powerhouse person, and I think Megan Bayne has been doing it very well.
So Megan Bayne versus Jade Cargill.
Yes.
Of course, Megan Bayne's going over Jade Cargill.
I think AEW would sweep a lot of these matches, to be completely honest. But that's just me. That's just my bias speaking.
So, but that one's the clearest one so far, because Jade hasn't been in ring enough to really just say this is how we're going to book it, and she's going to go over. It just doesn't make sense.
And then we have to book at least one comedy matchup. So let's just get it out of the way for the women. Chelsea Green versus Harley Cameron.
That's a good one.
That's automatic. That's automatic, though. That's like, yeah. Have that as a segment, and then put that in the ring.
I want Harley Cameron. If Willow and Harley ever break up and they're no longer a tag team, and now the inspiration's in AEW, if we don't get the inspiration with Harley Cameron, it's a missed opportunity. If Harley Cameron doesn't join the inspiration and become a trios, what a waste. Are you in a bowling alley, Leroy? What's going on back there?
Hey,
I'm not in a bowling alley.
Leroy is at his headquarters. He's at Hooters.
Hooters. Hold on.
I hear the ring bumps in the background now. You're in a parking lot.
Yeah, waiting for his next fight.
The background noise sounds like there's people bumping in the ring behind you.
No. It's traffic. It's traffic.
Vaughn, give me a match, Vaughn. Give me a tag team match.
A tag team match.
Men's?
Yeah, let's go men's first.
It would have to be men's. The obvious one would be Usos versus Young Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. That matchup has to happen. Totally agree.
But I want to see something a little different.
What do you got for me?
Shit. Trying to think. It got to be FTR. And maybe the Motor City Machine Guns. Have they crossed paths yet?
They have probably on the scene somewhere. I would imagine.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I believe I would enjoy that very much.
It's hard to book the WWE side of the tag team because they don't even take their tag team division seriously.
They really don't. And I just watched them. I just watch them let Obafemi destroy the War Raiders
Yeah, what
What a
was up with
disgrace
that?
to the War Raiders. That's
for
so
no
bad for the War
reason.
Raiders.
These,
For
these
no
some
reason.
these some big beefy man getting like flipped by one dude. That's like
You have
Bro,
no disrespect to these guys, but you have Akira Tozawa uh and Otis, who are kind of your joke comedy guys who get a world title shot the week after your War Raiders get crushed by Obafemi. That's like you look at your tag team
Ow.
roster and you look at those two tag teams and you're like, all right, we need to sacrifice a tag team to Oba, and you pick the War Raiders to do that.
that's what I'm
Man,
saying,
Right,
bro.
come on, man. What the hell?
And
you
then
couldn't get two extra guys to go out in the ring for the night
two
for
local guys. Two
yeah.
local guys.
You
Let them
had to
run through
kill the
two
War
local.
Raiders. Now,
Bro,
I
Yeah.
will say this.
Why you gotta do that to a woman?
I want to pose this question to you because this was a conversation that was in the Discord, the Cult of ABJ. Join us in Discord; we have a great time. But anyway, this conversation brought up in the cult where I was told I was a hypocrite because I hated the fact that the War Raiders got crushed, but I'm a fan of the Inspiration getting crushed and buried their first opening matchup. And I said the difference is the War Raiders are an established strongman tag team, and the Inspiration have always been known as we're better entertainers than we are workers, character chicken shit heels. So they did exactly what they're supposed to do within the confines of their character to go out there and do that night. Because the Brawling Babes are a team that go out there and beat the shit out of people. And I think it doesn't hurt the Inspiration to lose that way because they can always bounce back and still be, well, we're still better than you. Like that, like just
exactly.
and he's like, well, they're
yes.
they're TNA champions. Anyone who walks in the door from another company into TNA automatically gets titles because TNA doesn't know how to book. So they just take everyone else's food scraps and make them world champions.
Exactly. Yep.
man, that was very, very true.
They fail to book and then they get booked better at other places though. So yeah, definitely.
I can't even think. I don't want to see the MTFs. I can care less unless you give me Gorillas of Destiny maybe, but I don't want Solo and half of the Gorillas of Destiny in a matchup.
I forgot about them guys.
Yes.
Honestly.
I'm sorry. I missed that whole thing. I had a call come in, but before I got disconnected, I agree with what you're saying because I always tell Leroy about this, and I always believe in like the psychology of why you do something and the ramifications of how you do this. How do you book the War Raiders after this? And what sense did it make for Obafemi? Everybody lost in that situation because the War Raiders don't look strong anymore. Obafemi went from destroying the War Raiders to going against Kit, whatever his name is, and toxic masculinity and stuff like that. Like it just didn't make sense.
Well, let's book a matchup for Oba. You know who I book Oba against?
Who's that?
I remind the WWE that you had an Obafemi and dropped the ball on him, and I sent Bobby Lashley out there to be like, this is the character. If you wanted someone to be the Brock killer, you wanted someone to go out there and do the job. You had Bobby Lashley for 10 years and did nothing with him.
You really did, and Bobby Lashley has been Obafemi before Obafemi was Obafemi.
Yep.
Right.
So that's
I think Obafemi is very interesting, and I like Obafemi, but I'm also going to sound kind of shitty when I say this. Visually, when Obafemi comes out, he looks big when he wrestles NXT roster members. He's kind of like what was Mil Muertes in Lucha Underground. Mil Muertes looked like a Undertaker style character, but then you realize he's working Rey Fenix and Penta, who are not very tall. So then when he went and got outside of the realms of Lucha Underground, he was like, oh, he's actually like 5'6", 5'7". Mil Muertes is not this big giant beast that we think he is. Obafemi, when he hit the main roster, just looks like every other dude. He's not as empowering and as big looking, and he's not really like he looks like he's naturally strong, but he's not shredded. He's not the guy that I think when you put him standing next to Brock Lesnar, he's the guy that retires him.
I mean, but you still got to give him Brock to retire him and stuff because that's the only way.
I think Brock's that guy. Like I don't, and as a human being, I don't like Brock Lesnar, but I think as a character and storyline of professional wrestling, Brock Lesnar's that dude.
Oh, always is. He automatically makes an impact anytime that he comes in. Really does. But I agree with you. Like Oba's gonna have to at least cut up a little bit to make that look like the ruler. He's gonna have to cut up a little bit because just being big and strong ain't gonna make it when you got Brock Lesnar.
Like You're selling me on Gunther, and I know he lost a lot of weight, but he looks like I'm gonna sound shitty, but we're in a body industry. It's pro wrestling. He looks doughy. He looks doughy. He's not like he doesn't look like he's like and the only reason I'm saying this is because WWE has beaten into our head body guys, and now you give us two guys that aren't body guys that are good professional wrestlers. Now it's like, well, wait a second. You just gave me a visual for the last 30 years of being a wrestling fan that the top guys have to be these big body guys, and now you're giving me Roman.
They had to be jacked and shredded and stuff. Yeah,
and none of these guys are body guys anymore. And now you're like, wait a second, what?
It's almost like we're getting into the body positivity era of WWE, because now it's just like that horrible spot they had in the Royal Rumble where Ilya Dragunov chops Brock Lesnar and he no sells the chop. I'm like, the guy's 5'6" chopping Brock Lesnar. How's that supposed to look?
I have a Joe matchup. I just thought of this.
What you got?
This could be a main event on the show. I want Joe versus the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu.
I like that. Yep. I said
the mic work. I'm just ready for the mic work, really.
That the mic work is going crazy.
The mic work is actually going to be pretty crazy. Yes.
Yo, that matchup would be crazy.
But listen, who do we give Finn Balor?
Finn Balor. I mean, listen, Finn Balor, I'd give so many people to.
Right.
Honestly?
Yeah.
If he can I get a healthy guy?
Take whoever you want.
He's currently injured, but it was a matchup I always wanted in NXT Black and Gold and never really got. Give me Finn Balor, Adam Cole.
My God, bro. I hate Adam Cole is injured right now, bro.
I like that. Adam Cole and Finn Balor. Yeah, I hate that he's injured too.
Here's the thing with Finn Balor. He is so goddamn good, and that AEW roster is so prime for him. I'll just throw off 5 or 6. You have Ace Austin, Adam Cole, Speedball Mike Bailey, Jordan Oliver, now an AEW guy. That would be fantastic. Daniel Bryan. Buddy Matthews,
Kyle
Fletcher, Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega,
Finn Balor would be great too, though. But you got to
just signed David Finlay. You have Jay White versus Finn Balor. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, that's so crazy that Jay White just didn't get mentioned yet because we haven't gotten a chance to get. I like Jay White, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I like Jay White.
I like that. The promos would go good.
I like Jay White, Seth Rollins.
I do too, but I gotta give him Will Ospreay.
Yeah, you can't book that match and not go there first. But
yeah,
you gotta go Seth Rollins. Yeah, maybe
Seth and Finn Balor right now in WWE has the most versatility to work with the AEW roster. We're just gonna keep it real.
You know who my new favorite dude is in AEW? I just think he has a fantastic look, and I love him in the ring. Dude, I'm obsessed with Clark Connors. I think that dude is a megastar. Like, he is sick looking. I'm a fan. I like him.
Oh, who do we give Josh Alexander?
I still want Josh Alexander to work from people on AEW. I feel like we haven't gotten him really off the chain. He's kind of being held back.
I agree with you. I thought that was one of the best signings that AEW had in a while when they got Josh Alexander.
But if he was to give him somebody, I'd give him Chad Gable.
I was thinking the same thing.
Chad.
It writes itself, really, and it's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah,
it's really not. Chad Gable is another guy who could just work with really anybody in AEW.
Hangman Adam Page.
God, we forgot about this guy now. Hangman Adam Page. Who does he get?
I have a great matchup.
Who you got?
Kevin Owens.
I forgot because Kevin was injured. My goodness.
Hangman versus no, actually no. I'm giving someone different.
I think you're gonna say who I think is going.
You know who I want against Kevin, just because it's a matchup like you don't think you need it until you see it on paper.
Who's that?
Let's give him the international champion right now. Okada, Kevin Owens.
I like that because I was gonna say Randy Orton versus Hangman.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say
Randy Orton and Hangman wouldn't be bad.
Randy Orton, Hangman would be a great opponent for
they will put on a banger. But
Yes.
Okada versus Kevin Owens would be fantastic. I
Yeah.
think that it'll give the WWE audience before Kevin Owens signed to WWE, it'll give them a reminder of who Kevin Owens really is.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
love
that Kevin Steen coming out for real, for real.
Definitely,
I would
definitely.
if Kevin Owens and Finn Balor signed the AEW, I'd probably cry. I'd probably get a little emotional.
We'll see Kevin Owens in AEW before he retires. It's just inevitable.
I sure hope so. I don't know if it's
It's,
gonna happen though. I think he likes that. I think he likes that setup he has over there.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, I think it all depends on how they treat. Like they do love Kevin Owens in the WWE, but I don't know, man. It's just that rare opportunity to work with your friends over there on the other side and work a style that you haven't worked in a while, and work with some guys that you haven't worked with in a while and stuff. So,
Oh, I just thought of a Josh Alexander matchup that'd be kind of fun.
what you got?
Josh Alexander, Bronson Reed.
Wow.
People
Bronson
sleep on
Reed.
Bronson. Bronson Reed has a win over Okada in the G1.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That would be dope. Those styles and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I'm trying to
tsunami from the top on Josh Alexander,
big
and
time.
then Josh Alexander and his ankle lock. Yeah.
Hey, who are we giving? Who are we giving Braun Breaker to?
Oh shit. Breaker.
I know who you can get Braun Breaker to.
Who you got, Leroy?
You can get Braun Breaker to what's my guy's name on the Ring of Honor? Why am I blanking? Why am I blanking now? Shit, I can't think of his name on.
Damn, Leroy, man, you
Oh,
really
Shane Taylor.
said Shane Taylor.
What if you do Braun Breaker versus Roosh?
I do like Roosh.
Another guy. You know who we're forgetting? Another great matchup we have to find someone for. Who do you give Swerve Strickland to?
Trick. Oh yeah, gotta have Trick. Yeah, that's got. Yeah, gotta have Trick.
I don't know if I would give. I don't think I'd give Trick to Swerve.
Oh, why not?
I think Swerve size wise is a little too big for him. I think it would look weird.
Trick needs that though, man. Trick needs to figure out a way to deal with that. And the thing is, it's almost like Swerve going back in time to face.
You know who I think a better stylistic matchup for Trick for Carmella would be?
Who's that?
Sammy Guevara.
Carmella versus Sammy Guevara would be insane. That they would go all out to kind of. Oh, who would you give Darby Allin to?
Shit.
Oh, nobody. I don't want to see it. I'm not, Darby's the only guy in the comp. Darby versus Penta. I don't care.
No, like you said, yo, bro. The Darby is just Darby's the only guy that you really just can't let wrestle a WWE superstar because he's just too extreme for them.
Just
really
you know
is.
what? Honestly, you know who I'd give him to? Only because I'm going to go back to his independent work, and I love him on the independent scene. I think he's super talented, and I want him to get all the work in the world. Give me Darby Allin and give me Joe Gacy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good matchup. Joe Gacy worked his ass off. I think he's being underutilized. Joe Gacy, Darby Allin. I would go that route.
That's actually digging real deep in the bag, man. That was digging real deep in the bag right there. That's not bad. And you know our figureheads that have to lead it on opposite sides would be, and I would love to see them go on the mic against each other. Paul Heyman versus Don Callis.
Yeah.
I just think that we would get such grandeur, and like I just think that would be great for both of them, and to let that go across both platforms: Monday Night Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown,
I
Collision.
just thought of the matchup for Statlander.
Who you got?
Statlander versus the other body person over in WWE. Jordan Grace. Statlander, Jordan Grace.
Listen, I was just talking to Leroy about Jordan Grace. I hate the way that they're using Jordan Grace to feed her to Jade Cargill, not to let her win. Like, don't feed Jordan Grace to Jordan Grace has worked her ass off in this position. She doesn't need to be enhancement talent to anybody. She has a look.
No.
She can work. I just don't like the way that they're using her right now. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of their booking. We just talked about this yesterday.
Well, I think we just booked
Yeah.
a 2-day WrestleMania. We have enough matches for 2 nights. What's our next topic, Leroy?
Yeah,
The next,
because that one can go on forever because we spent
yeah.
40 minutes talking about that.
Yeah.
yeah. So the first one I say before I left would be Shane Taylor versus Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
So
What's the next topic though?
the next topic is your thoughts on the Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley beef on Twitter.
So you want me to deflate the room, or should I go last?
Uh, you could go. Well, you know what, Bell God, you already.
I'm gonna ruin the fun. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna ruin.
Go ahead, but you got to set it up for us, Leroy. You just can't say it. Tell us the backstory.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll tell you the backstory. So on Twitter, as we wrestlers always do, go be beefing on Twitter. Jade and Rhea Ripley started taking shots on Twitter. The one that I saw that mostly catch my eye is you know Rhea was saying something to Jade. Jade said, "Hey, you be going to creative every time you don't get your way." Then other people started coming out. They say Nia Jax and Chelsea Green said something. I didn't get to see those tweets, but they was on Rhea Ripley's side and stuff. So, um, but they was attacking Jade and stuff.
And
Um,
how do you feel about this, Leroy?
well, as I saw it, I think there's a little bit of truth in both parts. I feel like there's truth of like Rhea Ripley would go to creative, and again because he's not getting into something, and I think that because Jade she's the champion or so early in the company, and they feel like along that other things probably rubbed them the wrong way, and that was probably their way of like taking their shots because they never just said that in the locker room to her or whatever, something like that. So I think it's like it's a both could be called out for double stuff of like Jade not putting the work and they're not you're not working as hard as us, so you don't get to earn the WWE championship. And then Rhea, so the people who defended Rhea was like, oh, you ain't put in the work, you ain't done this. But they had a point of like, kind of do go to creative, and on TV, you do put yourself in the situations that don't necessarily belong you, i.e., the Rio situation and Bianca Belair. She just kind of shoot her way, bullied her way into it. That's what I see. So,
Oh, you want to jump on that, ABJ?
I don't buy any of it. I think it's all bullshit. I think they're trying to use the internet to work the fans, and they're trying to make more of a story because they have really nothing else for Jade because they can't put her in the ring because she's not ready. So they're trying to build a rivalry in a short amount of time before WrestleMania, and I think it's all a work. And I don't think any of it's real.
And I'm going to piggyback off of that. And because they chose to go this route, I think that it made the talent look bad in this point. Because the thing is like we know Jay wasn't ready. That's a bad move by creator to put the belt on her so early. But at the same time, to go back and use that narrative, Rhea Ripley has benefited from the same thing that they're using with Jade Cargill because she just won the Elimination Chamber. Whenever they could have went back and they could have went to somebody else to win the Elimination Chamber and put into WrestleMania. So for her to go back and say the same thing that she's saying about Jade Cargill, she benefits from the same thing. It's just a bad narrative. Because what about Asuka? What about Chelsea Green, who's worked her ass off? What about Natalia or Natty, who's worked her ass off to get to a certain point? Jordan Grace, who's worked her ass off and stuff and to get to a certain point and should get a certain push. There's a lot of women who have legitimate gripes other than these two that's talking about this. And I just, like you said, it's just not a thing.
You know what, where I think the most fun aspect of this conversation is where's all these WWE fan base people who sat there and said AEW is a shit show locker room and everyone hates each other and no one can get along and that locker room's so toxic and everyone over in the we don't have these problems. Now it's on Twitter and they're like, Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Where's your consistency, boys?
Listen, the thing, as a matter of fact, it's a conversation. It's a point that we had on there, and I think this is a perfect time because we should wrap this up because it's pretty cut and dry about this. This goes to show too because I think that this goes into the next segment of what's worse about the current state of wrestling right now. Is it creative or is it the IWC?
I think it's a mix of both. I think the IWC has this. Where I feel like this peaked for me when it comes to the fan bases of content thinking that they should have creative control and they should be booking it and telling the story and not the people.
Right.
WandaVision. Remember when WandaVision first came out and it was like the first television show that didn't just dump the entire season on you in one shot. They made you wait every week, and every week left you with a really good. It was literally, it felt like old school television again. I think WandaVision did something very special in the world of pop culture for a short time, and everyone fantasy booked WandaVision every single week. And when they didn't get what they wanted, they turned around and said the whole show was terrible, which was crazy because it was a fantastic show from beginning to end. But fans didn't get what they wanted, so they said it was bad. And I think it's created, and I think that has carried over into like the world of wrestling even more so. Is like wrestling fans book something and they don't get what they want and they cry. But there is a legit argument of being like, yeah, we're sick of seeing the same 4 people being used on your program, WWE, for the past 3.5, 4, 5 years. Like, give us some variety. You're bringing all these people in and you don't use them. We're sick of seeing. No offense, Roman Reigns at every single WrestleMania. We're sick of seeing Rhea Ripley shoved down our throats every week. Like, give us a little more variety. You brought these people in, use them. So I do agree with the IWC in those aspects, but also at the end of the day, the IWC need to take a back seat on wins and losses because, like, it's not your sandbox. It's not your money. If you want to sandbox and book wrestling, then come out of your pocketbook. Do what every other person does on the independent scene once a year around this time of the year is when you get your income tax. Open up your checkbook, do a one-off show, and then we'll never see you again until next year. That happens more than you know. But I look forward to income tax shows every year. That's the best paydays all year round.
The income tax bookers, the income tax Paul Heymans, huh?
Yep. Oh, they're the best, and they have the worst shows. And everyone who's booked on those shows knows exactly what it is, and they go out there and just have fun because they know it's not going to be a weekly, monthly thing.
No, my problem with my current problem with the IWC, and this is where I want to ruffle some feathers. Okay, the IWC currently is made up with people who have high ideology of how they see things should go, and they have no idea about the inner workings of the industry or just anything like that. And even further than that, they can't even do half of the things that the performers who perform in the ring do. Let alone they probably couldn't do a burpee. They couldn't do any of the reps. They couldn't do anything. So the thing is that you sit there and you criticize somebody's in-ring style, or if you were to sit in front of 20,000 people and you have to go back and do a promo battle and stuff, you couldn't even remember your lines and stuff. But here you are on Twitter firing off on your keyboard, a bunch of Twitiots over there firing off on their keyboard and stuff, talking about criticizing people on a weekly basis and where things should go.
Mm-hmm.
The toxicity of that creates. What is going on,
Leroy, you got to get off that Burger King connection. We can't hear
Leroy,
you.
I don't know if you got shipped to Iran or anything, bro, but you gotta get out of there, bro. Get out that bunker, buddy. Oh my gosh, our host.
Oh, what a guy.
God bless him. Bro, you threw us off for a quick second because it was just a flash and you were gone.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at something real quick. I'm sorry. I'm doing like 14 things at once. Can you guys hear me? Leroy's muting and unmuting on a rapid succession.
My phone's like keep making me mute. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my goodness, this is falling apart.
But yeah.
Hello, am I all alone here?
You're still here.
All right, Leroy. I gotta dip out of here. SmackDown's about to start. I'm going live over there. I can't hear you. Your connection's messed up.
No, can you hear me?
A little bit. It's coming in and out.
I gotta go. I got a call.
All right.
I gotta go. So
Leroy, we'll pick up this conversation a little later. Or you can come over in my stream hangout, all right?
All right.
Later, brother.
Peace.
What? Huh? What happened?
I would thank everybody for coming on for right now. We will continue the Nasty Reality podcast, or not podcast, reality talk show. So we'll be back part 2 because this was a really good conversation. And I will be at home when this happens. So yeah, stay tuned for the Nasty Reality talk show part 2. We got more topics to come. We'll have ABJ and the Bell God and myself and big homie Vaughn out here. So that being said, stay nasty, my friends. Don't be a rat bastard, and